And coming to you live from China Hat, Idaho, we are here with the Battle of the Americas #2, the second one that has ever been done. I'm your host, Yakuzaku, and with me today I have the L, 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 L. Poncho Grande.
You had,
Light underscore VIP. How you doing, Light?
you had 15 minutes to get that ready. God damn it. Oh my god. What's up? What's up? Yeah, we have a little bit of a different cast today. Typically we have Yoda Slim
Here
here.
with the Spanish cast.
Not quite. Normally I'm here joined by Yoda Slim for Battle of the Americas or Sentimental Latino. But unfortunately he isn't available this week, so instead we have the imitation innovation himself replacing him. We have Yakuzaku. Yeah, which is a nice change of pace for sure. But
I mean, you say that.
I would hope it's a nice change of pace. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll,
I needed this. It's been way too long. I've been sticking to a schedule for way too long. I need something to break it up.
Yeah. I mean, CranKy Ducklings, we've been on a break for quite some time now. Recently, we did come back yesterday with GPO, but Quirky and Steel casted that, so Yaku's finally being let out. Yeah.
Hope it goes well. And speaking of going well, I suppose I shall introduce our first player here. We have the PvZ up in the top left-hand corner of the map, sweating in the top left-hand corner of Simulac Ram. LE in the northwest-hand corner of the map. The PvZ representing Alpha X Latam, our very own sister clan itself. We have Huevos.
I wasn't sure if you were going to actually say his name or not.
eGGz. No, not S. eGGz.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Protoss player. Don't know too much about him, but he is from the Americas. It is DoctorRyan.
Well, I know for a fact that he's representing Clan ExxonMobil.
Is that the clan that he's representing?
I mean, if we just go based off of context clues.
Sure. I'm not too sure. I checked Wikipedia just before this, and he was on Taste the Bacon, but that may be his clan, and maybe he's on a different team, or maybe he switched teams. Not too sure.
There are some players who do that, where they play in like a more public-ish sort of clan, but the team that they're on is where they get their salary from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of salaries, what is going on with eGGz, Light? I've not been paying attention.
Thanks to us. eGGz, he's getting a third base. He's being, relatively not greedy, but pretty standard. Like, he's not being super aggressive or anything like that. But yeah, it's kind of on DoctorRyan right now to, see what's happening. He sees the third base. He gets a good idea of how many drones are at the natural with the shade as well. So, he's just out here for scouting information. Yeah.
And scouting, he does see that there's not too much going on. I mean, personally, I can't say that it looks familiar, but at the same time, I don't really know what eGGz is going into with the one drone in the gas. That's a DoctorRyan.
It is.
But eGGz does have a spore up in his main. No detection down in the natural, though.
Yeah,
Catch
I
him off
mean,
guard.
it is kind of like a safety spore, I guess, that he has in his main.
Lord.
Yeah, it's quite slow though, and I'm not too sure if it's gonna even make it in. We'll see. Like, there's no stalker here to stop it.
I think it might see it in the end. However, you got to think that it might not just be the DTs, right? Because he's getting the warp prism down. This could also indicate that he wants to go into more of a Archon type of Lings are in.
Trying to get in.
Are out.
Trying to get in. There is a full wall off. But
eGGz should just about see that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. DoctorRyan, I think, is gonna go for more of an Archon-based harass now rather than a DT-based one.
Yeah, and I mean, there is already a spore at the third anyway, and you know he does scout it, but the DTs are here.
But the DTs are here, and they're well within the range of that spore. Does actually get a hot pickup, but he has to be very careful on these queens.
Oh my god!
Queens have a lot of range. You cannot risk that at all. 9 health left, and this one DT that didn't quite make it in.
Yeah.
Let's manage to make it out.
Like he's like chasing after it. Like,
huge risk.
Like, wait for me.
You can't leave me here. That's a huge risk that DoctorRyan did take, but now we might just about see that pay off. Archons are out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this is the typical transition that we see from DTs into Archon drops, which can be quite annoying to deal with. But it does kind of depend on what eGGz has. You know, he is getting out roaches, so they may be out in time to deal with this, but we'll see if he gets any damage done.
I mean, how many roaches do you need to deal with Archons, though, is the question. And how many roaches can eGGz feasibly get at this stage of the game?
Yeah, well, the answer is enough. Like, he has enough to stop the Archons. At the same time, he did also cancel or deny the third from DoctorRyan with his Lings. So, you know, kind of being all over the place right now.
Yep.
It's quite nice.
Always want to try to get some value out of the units that you've already made. Just keeping DoctorRyan further and further behind. Which, yeah, that will not work out too well for him as time goes on. DoctorRyan is going into chargelets, good old charged Archon.
And eGGz being annoying as well with that Overlord, you know, denying the third even more.
I mean, I do wonder in this sort of scenario, right? Would it be a bad idea to take the other third if you were DoctorRyan?
Maybe
it might
not.
Be harder to defend, I suppose.
Yeah. Depending on how, like, you know, how early you wanted it. Like, DoctorRyan, he was banking quite a lot of minerals, so maybe it would have been worth getting it faster by putting it in a more, you know, potentially vulnerable position. Like, if you're confident that you can defend it.
But I suppose that you can kind of gauge the confidence levels just from the fact that he didn't go for that position for the third.
Yeah,
Which is coming out for DoctorRyan, but I'm a little bit worried. That's a lot of roaches from eGGz.
It is, and he's trying to push up a ramp as well.
Or potential force fields. Archon does actually make it out alive.
Yeah. It's going to be so hard to push up that ramp. I don't really see him doing it, and he does back off in the end.
It's gonna kind of has to now. It's got to be frustrating if you're in DoctorRyan's position. You're denied your bases for so long, put behind for so long, and now you got to do some kind of damage. But your opponent, no, they're already prepared. This is what do you? I'm trying to think. What could DoctorRyan do in this scenario just to harass his opponent?
I mean, he is...
Like, okay.
Oh, yeah. He's so careful with his Archons. Oh, my God.
But now it's going to get even more difficult for DoctorRyan because Hydras are coming out.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, that's what I was going to say, where he has to do what he can with that War Prism, with those Archons, but it's going to be harder and harder as eGGz techs up. And it looks like he's going to try and push in, but there are a lot of sentries. There are a lot of force fields. So he could...
There are two, not one, 2 immortals. 3 immortals, even. So that's a lot of force fields and quite a bit of Guardian Shield. He does have to be careful not to get surrounded or to not eat the biles. He does actually keep most of his units alive, but he can't afford to take make mistakes like that. Again,
Yeah.
a lot of immortals, that's the word, are already out, and they are starting to take out quite a number of those roaches. But I think there was a run by of Lynx in that third base of DoctorRyan. They take out a good number of probes. Just look at that worker difference, and you can
Yeah.
tell that DoctorRyan is progressively getting in a worse and worse position.
Well, I mean,
Or
he
rather,
lost.
eGGz is progressively getting in a better and better position.
Yeah, he did lose 9 workers there. Oh my god, and he loses an Archon as well.
The Hydras are out and they've got group spikes.
Yeah.
But the War Prism lives. I think one of the Archons actually did go down.
It did.
I don't remember this War Prism having only one Archon.
Yeah, we were able to catch that one Archon going down, and it looks like he's reconvening with his main army. But again, without storms, like he has High Templar, but he doesn't have storm research yet. So I don't know how much.
It is do or die at this point if you are DoctorRyan.
I mean, it's going to be all about the force field and all about the biles, right? Like trying to deny them.
Who can micro better? Come on, DoctorRyan's going to have to channel his inner parting. eGGz is gonna have to channel his inner. Who's that one good micro player? But the force fields are amazing. Sue.
Yeah.
That's the one.
But he loses all of his sentries.
Amazing, but yeah, he does. And now the Zerg player is starting to get a better concave on this. That's pretty big. Youch. A lot of drones have gone down, but now there's nothing here for the Protoss army to really buffer. And it comes down to just these few units in the end. eGGz will manage to chase away DoctorRyan, and he did sort of sacrifice a lot of drones to do that, but I mean, really, he can really afford to at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing going for DoctorRyan is that he did kill quite a few workers, but oh my god, this drop.
That's a drop. I
gotta
say.
It's
playing right now.
It's quite a drop. DoctorRyan, he is getting a 4th.
See this.
And he does see it. Oh my god, the War Prism's gonna go down there.
It will, but it did give. Well, GG, well played. He knows that he could not contend against that.
Yeah.
GG, well played. Who lordy. That was just. Oh, man.
Yeah, like it was rough because that entire game, it felt like eGGz was in control, like basically the entire game.
Oh, sure, is that this conspiracy theory?
But I don't. Yeah, like DoctorRyan, he was going for like these sort of like, DT harass and stuff, but like it all got scouted, it all got denied. His third kept getting delayed as well, so his economy was like getting hurt. Yeah, things just.
I do agree with you on that. I think that there were a few scenarios where DoctorRyan definitely had a window, but just waited a bit too long. And by the time that was done, like say, his first push, for instance, just came that little bit too late. So roaches were already out for eGGz. That push in towards the end of the game, where it could really have gone either way, just a little bit too late. There was just that much. There was just that perfect amount of Hydras and that perfect amount of Ravagers out at that point that eGGz really didn't have if DoctorRyan pushed just a few seconds sooner.
Yeah.
So it's really rough, man. It is for sure very, very rough. And speaking of rough, Bork. Here we have it spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ephemeran LE. We have the yellow Protoss. He is looking rough, but let's see if he can refine it. He is the player all the way from
America.
Where is the liquid America? Representing Team Exxon Mobil. He is DoctorRyan. I keep thinking of saying Dr. Brother. And then when I say DoctorRyan, I'm like, no, wait, that's not it. And they're like, oh, no, that is it.
Feels bad, man. Doctor Brother, the brother that never even played StarCraft. And in the top left-hand corner of Ephemeran LE, we have the Colombian player representing Latin America, as well as Alpha X Latin America. It is the Zerg player. It is eGGz.
Very, very in control, as you might say.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Light, as a Peruvian, what can you tell me of Colombia? I know that's where they filmed Narcos, and no, I don't think they even filmed Narcos there.
Good.
I think they filmed Narcos there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I cannot confirm or deny where they filmed that TV show. But yeah, it's pretty cool, you know, that we have eGGz here. He is the most prominent player in Colombia. He isn't the only one, but he's definitely I would say the best one. You know, we've seen him compete and do really well in Copa America, for example, as well as, you know,
Absolutely.
just...
I feel like outside of, like, say, you know, your specials, your Kelazers, your Chams, I feel like eGGz is among that sort of tier that's just below them when it comes to Latin American scene.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I would say that he's like a mid-tier Latin American player. He's, you know, kind of like how we have like Oreo and Vivid, like in our scene, you know, we have like eGGz for Latin America. We do have, in Latin America, we do have like that set in stone, like top 4, which would be like...
Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
I don't know it's Eric.
Yeah, he's gotten 4th place in Copa America like every single season for the past like 3 years.
There we go.
But yeah, like Cham, Eric, Special Kelazer, like they've like been the top 4 for quite some time now. But you know, just below them we do have players like eGGz, players like Ryu,
being the second best European Terra player.
Yep. Facts.
If the best is Kelazar.
Exactly. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see, you know, continued like participation and competitiveness within the Latin American scene. And you know, we have tournaments like this to support them, right?
By the way, speaking of the fact that Colombia has quite a few players, it is actually a spoiler, never mind.
What are you talking? Are you still talking about Narcos? God damn it!
I was gonna say a statistic from 2019. For CranKy events, but I'm like, this is actually a spoiler, so I can't bring it up. But just know that Colombia is featured, or there is an interesting statistic about Colombia for when we eventually do whatchamacallit.
Anyway, we do have eGGz coming in with his Overlord, and he did, of course, see everything in the main of DoctorRyan.
We didn't see a DoctorRyan this time.
That's true, yeah, and that's also important to know, right? Like, he knows exactly what DoctorRyan is going for. He knows that he's fairly safe in regards to like no Stargate, no Dark Shrine, or anything like that. He does see all of the gateways as well as the Robo Bay.
Very, very nicely done here, denying the scouting from DoctorRyan. eGGz does, but he's already pushing out. This is a soul train if I have ever seen one.
Yeah, and again, that's why it's so important that
before the roaches are out.
Yeah, that's why it's so important that eGGz scouted with his Overlord, so he did see that this push was coming, and he is attempting to get his forces ready. No static D yet. There is a Spore, but no Spines.
He's gonna have to move up this ramp once again. Very nice force fields, but very nice biles as well. Oh, I think this might just be a bit too much Zerg for the Protoss player to deal with. But in saying that, there is a very quick warp in, and we might just see some very nice juggling going on. if it happens.
Oh, he
or
may
not
be able to
even, the
just
Immortals
break
have pushed
through the Ravagers? Maybe?
Immortals are pushing through. The Queens are getting knocked down. There aren't a lot of transfuses left. In fact, there are no transfuses left. Now forced to pull all of the drones.
Oh, the Warp Prism
will go down, but it did manage to warp in a couple of reinforcements. That's one Immortal down, though, and he cannot afford to lose anything else. And these Stalkers and these Immortals and these Zerglings, man, everything is dying left and right. GG, well played once again. It's going to be the declaration from our doctor brother. Where's our GG button? Phone. And there we go. Eggs going to move on. Winning this best of 3 series to face Chen, which we should be able to cover that. Hey, Google.
I almost typed Dr. Brother. God damn it.
You're welcome.
But yeah, GG.
Put up the GG button for me. What do you mean there's an update?